So guys, a brand new update just launched today for Fortnite Creative, and it brought a load of new things that we're going to go over in this video. So the biggest thing they've added in this update to Creative is the B.R.U.T.E. You can now find the B.R.U.T.E. in the devices section, and you're able to just place it down like any other vehicle. It works just like the B.R.U.T.E. in BR, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see the different weird ways that people are going to use this B.R.U.T.E. in Creative compared to how it's used in BR. I think we're going to see a lot of different mech battle arenas, where the aim is to make the other person fall out of the arena or destroy them first. The next major change that they added was a way to manage your islands. It was just a really unorganized list, and you were sort of stuck with the amount of islands that you were given by Epic. And when you open up your Rift, it comes up with this brand new menu. So there's two sections to this new menu. On the first side, you have a list of all of the islands that you currently have active. If you click onto any of your islands, you'll have the option to actually select and load that level, or you also have the option now to remove that island from your list of islands. If you choose to remove an island, it'll actually go to the deleted islands section. The last 5 islands that you've chosen to delete will stay at the top of this list, and you're able to actually restore these islands at any time. There's a create new island option now available in this menu, and you're able to create up to 50 islands at one time. When you click onto the create new island section, it actually brings up a bunch of pictures of the different islands that you can create. This is super useful if you just want to have 50 meadow islands instead of having all of these different other types of islands. One of the other main features that they've added to Creative in this update is the ability to add a camera filter to your island. You can do this by going over to My Island settings, going over to the game settings, and then coming down to camera filter. By default, it leaves the camera filter as off. There's this sepia option, which basically makes it look really olden, kind of like an old western film, and it's kind of like the tilted town effect that they had in BR last week. There's also this amazing new retro theme, which adds a pink highlight to all of the things in the world, and also just gives it this really nice stylized effect, kind of like an old retro arcade game. We also got 2 brand new galleries in this update. The first of these is the pillar gallery. Basically, it's a bunch of super useful pillars that you can actually pick up and move and rotate and resize, just like any other prop in the game. This is going to be a really great addition for being able to create custom things. The second gallery that got added was a Particle Gallery B. This Particles Gallery B is basically all about nature. So you can now spawn loads of things like butterflies and these cool little birds that are flying around. We also got lots of changes to devices in this update. The first of these is actually increasing the number of channels that you can set on the trigger device. Before, it used to be 24, now you can set up to 32 different channels. They also increased the amount of available receivers from 30 to 40. This is going to be useful for creating a bunch of different complex mechanics in Fortnite. Another device that they added was actually a brand new item spawner. This new item spawner is a lot better than the old one. It has a bunch of new features, and it can actually be picked up and moved just like a prop. So we no longer have to actually take up an entire tile using an item spawner. We can actually just use this new item spawner and go around just placing it anywhere that we want. So this new item spawner has all of the same options as the last item spawner, but it does have 3 brand new options which are absolutely amazing. It has this new wood cost of item, stone cost of item, and metal cost of item, and basically this has brought shops to Fortnite Creative. I know this has been one of the most requested features for months on end, and they've finally given us the ability to actually add shops to Fortnite. This is going to bring in a bunch of new game modes, a load of different mechanics. Really excited to see what the community actually makes with this. So taking a look at this new device in game, it's actually a lot smaller than the last one. I kind of like the way that it looks, so maybe I'd actually leave the visibility on in game, whereas on the old one I never really liked how this looked, so I'd always like turn this off. As you can see right now, I actually have 0 resources on me, so if I walk up to this and actually try and pick up this item, it's going to tell me that I don't have enough resources, and it's going to show how much this item costs. So if I walk up to this rocket launcher, it's going to tell me that I don't have enough resources and that I need 100 wood to be able to buy this. If I try and pick it up, it won't let me. So if I pick up this stack of 500 wood next to it and then walk back up to this rocket launcher, it now shows that I have enough wood to be able to buy this rocket launcher, and if I press E to pick it up, it'll actually put this in my inventory, and it will actually deduct 100 wood from my inventory so that I now only have 400 wood. So basically this is a completely working store in Fortnite now. Absolutely amazing, great addition by Epic, and I can't wait to see what things people use this for. So the next device that they added was the B.R.U.T.E. spawner. It works just like any other vehicle spawner in the game. You just place this tile down and then it'll spawn a B.R.U.T.E. on it. So there's a bunch of different options in the spawner settings settings, but they're pretty much the same as all the other vehicles in the game, so there's not too much going on there. They also made some changes to the advanced storm controller, so they've now added some extra options to help automate this storm using triggers and sequences and stuff like that. Basically, you can now generate the storm when you transmit on a channel. You can also destroy a storm when you transmit on a certain channel. So they also added this super useful setting at the bottom. So at the end of a phase, you're now able to transmit on a certain channel. This allows you to change certain things in the map, enable certain devices, disable certain devices, and I think there's going to be a bunch of different things that people are going to come up with using this new setting. So they added a few new settings to all of the vehicle spawners in the game. So now you can cause the vehicle to respawn when you transmit on channels, despawn when you're transmitting on a certain channel. You also have the option to enable vehicles when you transmit on a certain channel, and also disable vehicles when transmitting on a certain channel. So there's now a lot more customization on all of the vehicles in the game. So I think Epic is really making a push to make all of these levels super automated now, by giving us all the option to actually control these devices using triggers and receivers. Epic's also made some changes to the objective device in this update. They've added a few new options, including the ability to play audio and visual effects when the objective device is destroyed. They've added a couple of different collision options. They've also added a score option so that when this device is now destroyed, it will actually give you a certain amount of points. And they've also added the options to turn on and turn off the visibility using triggers and receivers. They've also added a couple of new options to the creature spawner device, so now you can change the spawner to look like an Ice Fiend spawner, or you can just leave it as the cube spawner. They've also added all of the Ice Fiends and Ice Brutes to the creature spawner, so now you can use this creature spawner in your winter themed levels. Another small change that they made was adding cake to the consumables gallery. It now gives you 5 health or shield, and I think that basically covers everything that they added in the version 10.10 update. Let me know what you think is your favorite feature. Personally, I love this new retro filter. I'm also super excited for this new shop mechanic that was added, and all of the different possibilities that that'll bring. But that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.